What up, though, good people? It's your boy Chef EJ here from Jelani Catering, and I'd like to welcome you all back to the Culinary School Survival Guide. Last time we talked about the move-in and the first night on campus. This time we're going to talk about the orientation, the first orientation. Remember, like I said, I had 2 orientations as a culinary student. Only the culinary students had 2 orientations, and we're going to go over that one a little later. But this one, like I said, is with all of the other majors. So medical, veterinarian, all other majors, human services, social work, criminal justice, everybody else was at this one. And this orientation was like, it was kind of like a welcome to being on your own seminar. And they had like a little like mini, like a mini dare seminar, where it was like, if you didn't know what a drug was, they showed you what the fake version of that drug looked like. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if you wanted to tell your roommates or, whatever it is, they, helped you out there or helped themselves out there. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was cool. But that seminar actually started at like 9 in the morning. So like if you was partying the night before to like 5 in the morning, which a lot of people was, 6 in the morning. Me, I partied, I kept it reasonable. I crashed at like 2. 2, you know what I'm saying? I woke up at like 7, got ready, you know what I'm saying? Got me something to eat, you know what I'm saying? I had whipped up a little oatmeal, you know what I'm saying, with the apples in there, a little bit of cinnamon. Don't forget, I am a culinary student. I always ate good. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, I made me a good little breakfast before I went, you know what I'm saying, get off the little partying that I did the night before. Some people, like I say, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, that 9 o'clock, that roll around pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? So, some people felt it that way. Some people actually just like straight up missed it, didn't go. Not because they partied. Some people just actually like didn't want to go. Was like, no, I'm not going to that. And thinking back on it, they kind of like took an L on that because it was like a sign-in sheet for like every stop. So it was a stop at like when we first got to the main campus. It was a stop when we like went to the bookstore. If everybody didn't get all their books and stuff, you can grab your little books from the bookstore. Then they gave us our little seminars about going to class, doing your homework, how to spend your money when you're away from home. And like I said, did a little DARE seminar. So all in all, the orientation wasn't even bad. It was like from 9 to like, being real, it had to be like 2 o'clock, 9 to 2. And that's like, what is that? That's like 4 or 5 hours, which like I said, it's not terrible. I did it. It wasn't no problem. It was cool. Once again, more mixing and mingling because it wasn't nothing really serious. You know what I'm saying? It was just more informational. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, always some common sense stuff, kind of obvious stuff that they don't really need to tell you. But, information nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the diverse background of people and some people who had never been on their own. I guess some people might have needed to hear, the little obvious or common sense things that they had to say. So, I guess it was cool. You know what I'm saying? So, after we got back from the orientation / little seminars, the shuttle, or if you drove, or, some kids chose to walk the little half a mile for whatever reason, I guess to catch some fresh air. We all the freshmen are back on the townhouses, and, we back to kicking it. Now, as a culinary student, our second orientation wasn't until that Thursday because everybody got up on campus on the Tuesday. We got there that Tuesday, party. Wednesday was, like I said, the regular orientation which we went through. And then Thursday was our culinary orientation, which again, that orientation was 9 in the morning. So you've seen a similar scenario, as the first orientation to the culinary orientation. You know, the culinary students were no different from the regular students. You know, they partied and they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? The difference was, you know, we had a second orientation versus everybody else only had one. So it was the same thing when you went to the orientation at the sim. You had to sign in, and it was all of the instructors. Well, it wasn't even all the instructors. It was the program director, or the dean, which at that time was Rob White, who's like known, or who was known, at least at the school at that time, for whatever reason, as being a strict or kind of like stern personality or individual. I didn't have too much interaction with Rob White through my culinary career, just because he left I think 8 months with me being into the program, so he wasn't the dean the full time I was there. But I do remember the orientation which he spoke at, and he was like the focal point, and it was kind of one of those things where he had or some of the students, I wouldn't even say he had, but some of the students were kind of frightened or intimidated by what they heard as far as the sternness and the strictness of the program, as far as, don't fail any classes, which is kind of obvious. But once he kind of broke it down to, you fail a class, you may not get that class ever, again until 2 quarters later, which will slow you up, which is true. That could happen. But I mean, it was just, it was, I can't really say it was anything bad, but, I guess I can see how some of the kids were intimidated by the sternness or the tone that the orientation was in. But it was cool. Like I said, it was the most common sense stuff. It was just told to you in a no-nonsense way, I would say. So after that orientation, it only lasted about an hour on that Thursday. We were, once again, back to kicking it on main campus. And Saturday is when all of the upperclassmen came onto the campus. And then that Monday is when our actual classes start. So all of the upperclassmen came on that weekend, kind of moved into their spots. You seen I wouldn't say who was who, but you just, seen the upperclassmen, so you came back and, who was there. And the reason I say came back is because what I would come to find out later is a lot of the people who start school with you or your program with you will not finish with you. They won't finish the first quarter. They may drop the second quarter. They may stop after the first year, but it happens, and it's not a knock to anybody. It's just a reality of the situation. So you see all of the upperclassmen that come back, and you kind of mix and mingle with them if they're not too snooty or uppity. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are, some of them aren't. Typically the upperclassmen, the dudes, is definitely trying to mingle with the the freshmen, females or whatever, trying to play the upperclassman card if they can, which, that's kind of funny to see, because, what I'm saying, like I said, it's a small school. So, it was just funny to see how I say that and, keep it there. But that was pretty much, how our orientations and, the welcome week pretty much went down, you know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to go ahead and end off the episode there. Like I say, guys, if you like the content, like, subscribe, and share, especially if you think, this series may help somebody who's in culinary school, thinking about going to culinary school, deciding which culinary school, and, things of that nature. So please like, subscribe, and share. And I thank everybody for tuning in and joining me, your boy Chef EJ and Jelani Catering, to the Culinary School Survival Guide. And as I always say to you, cheers.